Hi, everybody. Here is a recording that I had promised since my video wasn't working on this new desktop for a rep. So today we're going to use a block, a ball, and a foam roller. Let's start with the block between your knees lengthwise. So when I talk about the block in the class being vertical or horizon oriented, we're going to start with it in this horizon orientation, so the widest possible. And that's going to go between your knees. Your arms are going to reach tall, long, tall spine, long spine. Take a breath in. And we're going to exhale, squeeze your knees into the block and start to round back. Let's start to articulate through your spine in the air and continue articulating through your spine on the floor. Take a breath in to reach back. Exhale, arms to ceiling, nod your chin and articulate your spine off your mat. Squeeze into your block and stack tall. Inhale, all tall bones. And exhale, strong muscles. Relax through your shoulders. Open through your chest. Take a breath in at the very bottom. Reach your arms back. And exhale, arms to ceiling, nod your chin. Feel your spine. Take a breath in, grow tall. We have one more. As you exhale, articulate back. Soften through your what you don't need here. So through those shoulders, neck, and chest. Inhale, reach. Exhale, arms to ceiling, squeeze into your block and peel your spine. Now let's grow nice and tall here. Keep the block, place the ball behind your spine and round back into it. Taking a breath in here, we're going to squeeze into your block. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale. Inhale to lower. Exhale, squeeze the block. Arms to ceiling. Inhale, release. Two more. Exhale, squeeze and lift. And inhale, return. Last one. Exhale. And return. Take your block, place it vertical, so a little bit more narrow. Take your ball and bring it further back into the middle of your spine. Breathe in and exhale, lift your arms, squeeze into your block. Lower your arms, release your squeeze. Exhale, squeeze and lift. Inhale, return. Two more. And one more. And release. Let's take the block and place it underneath your left foot. Take your hands behind your head. Elbows are forward, soft shoulders. Let's take a breath in to bring your chest back. Exhale to lift your chest up. Again, inhale, reach your chest back. Keep your chin tucked. Exhale, grow tall, round into your ball. Two more, breathe in. Exhale, round and grow tall up. One more. Exhale. Stay here. Left foot stays down on the block. Breathe in. Stay tall through your chest. Exhale, lift your right leg to tabletop. Inhale, bring it down. Exhale, right leg to tabletop. Inhale down. Two more. Exhale. Remember to keep your shoulders soft here. Deep core. Exhale, lift. Now leg is going to lower. We're going to open both knees as you bring your chest back. Exhale, close your knees round into your ball. Grow tall through your spine up towards the ceiling. Inhale, reach back, open your knees, and exhale, round up. Two more. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, round up. One more. And exhale. Stay here, breathe in. Exhale, lift your right leg to a tabletop again. Rotate towards it. Left elbow to knee. Inhale, lower, return. Three more. Exhale, strong core, right leg lifts, rotate right. Come back to center, breathe in. Two more. Back to center. Last one. and back to center. Grab a hold of the front of your left knee, give yourself a break for a moment, and we're going to switch that block over so it's underneath your right foot. When you're ready, hands go behind your head. We're going to inhale, bring your chest back. Exhale, blow your breath, zip up your core, round into the ball, and lift tall. 3 more. Breathe in. Exhale, grow tall. 2 more. Inhale, exhale. 1 more. Let's stay tall here. Breathe in, exhale, lift your left leg. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. And 2. 1 more. Exhale, leave your leg lifted, breathe in. Exhale, twist towards your knee, elbow to knee. Come back to center, lower your leg, inhale. Exhale, lift and twist. Lower and return. 2 more. Lift and twist. Back to center, 1 more. Exhale. Back to center, we're going to grab a hold of the top of your right knee. When you're done here resting, we're going to grab the block and place it back between your knees. We have 1 more exercise. You are welcome to put the ball a little higher up your spine if you're feeling tired in your core. So you'll grab your block. We're going to place it in the vertical up and down position between your knees, and your hands come behind your head. Relax through the shoulders. We're going to bring your chest back as you breathe in. Now, rotate left, squeeze into your block, keep your hips anchored equally, lift up through the center, come all the way through the center over to the right, stay tall, and then drop back through the twist. So these are called around the worlds. Think of rotating by keeping your right hip anchored, lift up through your chest, grow tall, 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 go back through the center, rotate all the way to the right as you drop back, just breathe in. Back through center, looking at the ceiling, you're going to rotate left, squeeze into the block, grow tall. All the way over to the right, you drop back, breathe in. Come back through center, rotate left, and exhale, lift up. Over to the right, we have 1 more here. Breathe in, drop down, keep your chin tucked, rotate left, squeeze the block, lift up. Switching the direction. So let's rotate to the left as you inhale, drop your chest, come through center, keep your chin tucked, rotate to the right, exhale, squeeze the block and lift up, over to the left, inhale, drop back, hips are equally anchored, exhale to lift up, inhale, center, keep your right hip anchored as you drop back through the left, open through the chest, over to the right. 1 more. As we inhale, we drop. Open center, twist right, exhale, lift up, and come back through the center. Block comes out. Let's come off the ball. Place the block underneath your left foot. Let's take the ball out, keep it nearby, and round all the way down. Let's rest head, neck, and shoulders down. Lengthen your arms, widen those shoulders, and walk the block and your non-block foot closer to your body. We're going to start in a neutral spine, neutral pelvis. There should be a little bit of a space with your lower back. Tailbone is heavy. Let's breathe in to prepare. Exhale, I would like you to press into both feet. So push straight down into those feet as you press your hips up towards the ceiling. Try to keep your hips parallel to the ceiling above you. And then inhale, return with ease. All the way to the floor, you rest all of your muscles. Exhale, press into your feet and press your hips up. Let's think of lengthening through the front of the hips, squeezing through the glutes, and staying long and relaxed through your lower back. Inhale to lower. If you start to lift so high that your lower back starts to get achy, crampy, or feel tight, don't go so high. Exhale, press into your feet, pressing straight up. Inhale, right back. Let's think of how we can do this exercise by keeping it just through the glutes and inner thighs and hamstrings and out of your back and shoulders, neck, and chest. Using your core for that stability. 2 more. Exhale to press and reach. Inhale to lengthen and return. Let's hold up on the next one. Exhale, press and reach. Holding here, I'd like you to focus on your right hip here. So you're going to drop your right hip towards the floor. I don't want you leaning right or left, especially with your knees. So knees are in the center. Your right hip drops to the floor. And then you're going to press up and bring your right hip back parallel to the ceiling. I hope you guys can see this. So you're going to rotate your pelvis so your right hip drops to the floor as you drop your hips down. Lift your left hip up to the ceiling, and at the very top, level out your hips. Knees do not go left or right, neither do your hips. So we rotate right hip to floor as you drop down. Your left hip is higher. As you press that left hip up, and then you level out your hips to the ceiling. We have 2 more. Inhale, drop your right hip to the floor. Exhale, press that left hip to the ceiling and return back to center. 1 more. Inhale, right hip drops. Exhale, left hip lifts and we level out. Lower your hips straight down and relax for a moment. 1 more exercise. So arms are long, take a breath in, exhale, press into both feet, pressing up with your hips, hold there. I'd like to go a little lower than normal, so just drop down just a little bit to that mid-level. Breathe in, exhale, lift your right leg and left arm up towards the ceiling. Right leg is in tabletop. Inhale, lower both. Let's go slow. Exhale, integrate your core, press into your left foot, lift your right leg, left arm. Inhale, back down. Exhale, anchor left foot. Lift right leg, left arm, and lower. We have 2 more. Strong core first. Press into your left leg, lift right leg and left arm. 1 more. Rest if you need to, if you're feeling that's enough. Exhale, anchor and lift. Lower, and then let's take those hips down to the floor. Let's take your knees into your chest and rock your hips. Returning with your feet to the block, we're going to scoot that block underneath your right foot, bringing your arms down by your sides. Taking your body on the inhale into that neutral, and on your exhale, press into your feet, pressing hips straight up towards the ceiling, and lowering right back down, completely relaxing your muscles in between. Exhale, anchor your feet, press your hips, lengthen through those knees, squeeze through your glutes at the top, and inhale back down. Exhale to press and reach. Inhale to release. Exhale, press and reach. And return with control. 3 more. Exhale, press and reach. Inhale down. Exhale, press and reach. And inhale down. We have 1 more. Hips press parallel to the ceiling. Holding there, you're going to pivot your hips so that your left hip drops towards the floor as you drop your hips. Remember, we're not leaning, we're just pivoting. Then you're going to lift up through your right hip and level your hips up, back up to the ceiling at the top. Again, we're going to pivot your hips so your left hip is lower than your right. Drop that left hip. Exhale, press up with your right hip and then level your hips out to the ceiling. So this exercise is really more possible if you have more mobility in your pelvis and more ability to separate these muscles. So we're trying to teach you how to move your pelvis separate from your back. So as you drop that left hip, we're staying long and relaxed in the back to drop down. You're going to anchor into that right glute and hamstring to press your right hip up and then join with that left side. 1 more here. Inhale, hip down. Exhale, right hip up, and then level out to the ceiling. We're going to drop both hips down, rest for just a moment. And when you're ready, we'll go back half the distance up. So breathe in, prepare. Exhale, press half up. Holding here. So this is a lot of core breathe in. Exhale, anchor into your right foot, lift your left leg and right arm. Inhale, return both, reset. Exhale, anchor your right foot, zip up through your core, lift left leg, right arm, and lower down. Make sure your hips stay parallel to the ceiling when you lift up. Exhale, so left hip stays lifted parallel as your leg lifts to tabletop. Make sure you're not dropping, and then return, breathe in. Exhale, lift. Inhale, return, 2 more. Exhale, lift. Return, 1 more. And return. Let's drop your hips down. Bring your knees to your chest and rock your hips side to side. All right, we're going to go ahead and do 2 things. So block is going to come into your hands. You can grab that with your hands. Your ball goes underneath your hips, underneath your sacrum. Your block, once your legs are on tabletop, is going to go between your knee and your left hand. Your right leg is in a tabletop and your right arm is towards the ceiling. If you have a hard time with balance, bring your right arm back to the floor. So we want to be in a position with the ball so that your pelvis is slightly tucked to the ceiling, your ribs are anchored, but your knees are directly over your hips. We're going to breathe in and exhale, press into your left block with your hand and knee as you extend your right leg and right arm back. Inhale, return. Release, reset. Exhale, anchor into your block, extend your right leg and your right arm. And return, breathe in. Exhale, anchor and extend. And return. We have 2 more. Exhale, anchor and extend. And return. 1 more. Exhale, anchor and extend. Now staying there with your leg extended, breathe in. Exhale, lift your leg up, bring your hand to your knee, and then lower back down. And exhale, lift back up. Inhale, extend apart. Press into your block. Exhale, lift up. And return. 2 more. Exhale, press into your block. Lift up. And return. 1 more. And relax. Switching the block over to your right leg. Left hand to ceiling. Both legs to a tabletop. Breathe in. Exhale, press into your block and extend left side. And return. Breathe in. Exhale, press into your block and extend. And return. Breathe in. And extend. Turn, 2 more. Press and extend. And 1 more. Pressing and extending to hold there. Breathe in. Exhale, leg and hand up. Inhale, both down. Exhale, extend up. And return down. Exhale. Inhale long and reach. Exhale strong as you lift. 2 more. Last one. And release. Now grab a hold of your block in the horizon position so the width is wider between your knees. Your arms are going to either come down by your sides or behind your head for a little bit more challenge. We still have the ball there, knees are over your hips. Taking a breath in to prepare, we're going to exhale, squeeze your knees into the block and lower your legs down towards the floor, maintaining your control from your core and return breath in. If anything is bothering you here through your hips, try making your block less wide and seeing if that helps. Otherwise, go into a single leg lowering rather than a double leg if that's just too much for you at this moment. Exhale to lower and inhale to return. We have 3 more. Exhale to squeeze and lower. Inhale to return. Exhale, squeeze and lower. Sure. 2 more. Last one. Returning back to center. Digging the block out between your knees, taking the ball out. And we're going to grab a hold of your roller. So your roller is going to go underneath where your ball was. Ball and block go aside. Once your roller is underneath your hips, I want you to keep your feet on the floor, as long as that feels okay for your body and comfortable. We're going to keep your arms down on the roller, and I want you to walk your feet and knees together. You're going to let your knees fall apart, and I want you to be conscious of how your lower back is right now. Do you feel like it's very arched? I'd like you to try to maintain a more neutral spine. And in this stretch with your knees falling apart, I don't know if you feel this through your quads at all, but we're going to think about how you can recruit your core to close your knees back together. I want you to close your abdominals inward as you bring the knees in, and then inhale to allow those knees to fall apart, but maintain neutral. Again, we're going to zip up through your core first. Close your knees. We'll do 2 more. Inhale, open. And exhale, engage to close. 1 more. This might not be deep, strong core sensations, but it's really important core work. So use your core to knit those legs closed. Holding there, take a breath in, and exhale, use your core to lift your right leg to a tabletop. Bring it back to the floor, breathe in. Exhale, strong core, left leg. Bring it down. And exhale, right leg. Last one, exhale, left leg. Staying there, take a breath in, and exhale, lift your right leg to join. Now, again, I want you to stay neutral. Try not to tuck your pelvis to the ceiling. Keep it long and neutral. Breathing in, we're going to open your legs apart. Exhale, you're going to once again knit your core to pull those knees back to center. Inhale, open apart. Blow your breath out, zip up your core, and close. 2 more. One more. Staying here, breathe in. Exhale, zip up your core to lower your right leg to the floor. And return. Zip up your core, lower your left. And return. Exhale, right. And left. Stay here, arms to ceiling, breathe in. Exhale, both legs extend out. And return. Exhale, both legs extend out. You go as long as you can, as far as you would like. You don't have to straighten your legs all the way. 2 more. One more. Keep your legs straight. Bring them up towards the ceiling, breathe in. Exhale, lower them down. Inhale back up. And exhale down. Zip up through your core. And return. 2 more. And 1 more. Stay low. Open your legs wide, breathe in. Exhale, bring them together. Open wide. And zip up to close. 2 more. 1 more, going into circles next. We're going to lift up, inhale. Open wide. Exhale, drop down and together and lift up. Inhale, open, drop down and together. Exhale, lift up, open, down and together. One more. Switching your direction, coming up first. Let's lower down. Open, exhale, up and together. Inhale, down. Open, exhale, up and together. Two more. Down, open, up and together. Last one. Up and together. Bend your knees, hold on to the top of your left knee, reach your right leg to the ceiling, and lower your right leg to the floor. Now that your hips are nice and warmed up, I want you to just completely relax and melt into the stretch. Don't hold on to any of those muscles that you just used to lower your legs and to move your legs. Melt and release. Let's take about 3 more deep breaths. You're soft in the shoulders, your neck, your chest, your jaw, and you're melting up and over. Let's bring it in, straighten your left leg or your other leg, and lower it down as you pull your knee in, relax your whole body, and melt up and over. Bring that leg back in, hold on to both of your knees and press both legs apart, knees to floor. 3 more deep breaths. Bring your knees back together. Roller comes out, and let's turn to your side. Your top leg is going to lay on the roller. Bottom leg is going to be straight. So warming up still through those hips, now focusing on the inner thighs. We're going to lift up your bottom leg, stay at the very top, flex your foot so your heel is reaching, and lower. Now your toes are going to reach, press your leg up, flex your foot, and lower. Reach your toes, press it up, flex your foot, lower down. Exhale, point and lift. Flex and lower. Point and lift. Flex and lower. Let's hold up here on this next one. Point and lift, holding there. Pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. I'd like you to hold, flex your foot, and pulse again for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold, point your toes and circle 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch the direction for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest that leg down. Now take a hold of your block, and we're going to place the block between your knees in the horizon position. And I want your knees bent with your spine stacked, kind of like we go into a clam position. And we're going to rotate. So this is going to be an active stretch. I still want your bottom waist lifted. We're going to lift up your top foot, gluing that knee down into the block. You're going to feel this right in those rotators. And you're going to lower your foot back down. Exhale, knee to block, rotate, open. Don't let your hip roll forward, and then return. Exhale, press it open. And return. And 5. Return, we have 3 more. And 2. And 1. All right, we're going to take your block out. Take your leg down. Bottom waist is lifted. We're going to press your top leg up and rotate it open at the very top. Bring it back to center. So if you need your hand on your hip, you can. We do this often with the strap. So right now we're just more working on your mobility rather than using the resistance of the strap that sometimes can limit the ability for you to stretch open. So really, I want this movement right at the hip socket. I want your hip to be very quiet. This is really just the thigh rotating through that ball and socket joint where your hip is created. So you're going to rotate, rotate, rotate nice and slow, and then come back to center. We have 2 more. Exhale, keep your hips stacked, rotate, rotate, rotate until you can't rotate anymore. And you return. 1 more. Rotate, rotate, rotate. And return. Now staying there in the center, you're going to rotate your knee down, 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 and then come back up. So your foot stays at the same level as your hip. You come down, down, down. Don't let your hip go forward. And you return. Bottom waist is lifted. You're going to rotate in and return. Rotate inward and return. And inward. Return. Let's do 2 more. We rotate in. And last one before we circle. Coming back to center, we're going to come forward a little bit, up and rotate. Come down, back to center to rotate inward. So this is a very different circle. Come back to center, untwist, rotate to drop back a little bit, and back to center. So just flow with it. We're going through all rotations of what your hip can do, as well as going forward and back slightly with your leg. Use your core to help support your posture, so bottom waist is lifted. And use your core to make sure your hips stay stacked and stable. They're not moving back and forth. Last one, we rotate and drop back. And we drop down and rotate in and rest. All right, so we're going to take your leg back onto the roller for a stretch. Bottom arm goes in front of you, top hand goes on top of that hip hand, and we're going to rotate open all the way to the other side of the room. Laying your shoulder down, circling, 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 following your hand with your eyes, maybe feeling that stretch through the hip, but more through the shoulder here is that focus, and then twisting back to center. We'll do that 1 more time. We rotate, rotate, rotate. Keep your hips as stacked as possible, trying to lay that shoulder down onto the floor. And return back to the center. All right, we're going to go ahead and push yourselves up. Stay with your knees bent. Take your hand to the floor next to your shin and stretch up and over. 1 more breath. And come all the way out. Flip around. We're going to lay your top leg on the floor. Your bottom leg is straight. Your head is supported with your bottom arm. Bottom waist is lifted. Exhale, we're going to reach your bottom leg up with your toes. Flex your foot and lower down. Inhale. Exhale, toes point. Leg lifts up. Flex your foot. Lower your leg down. Point and lift. Flex and lower. Point and lift. Flex and lower. 2 more. Point and lift. Flex and lower. Point and lift. Stay there with your toes pointed. Pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold. Flex your foot. Pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold there. Relax your foot and circle. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switching for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your leg down. Let's bend that leg. Grab your block. Forgot to mention that. We'll place your block in that horizon position between your knees. Bottom waist is lifted, so your hips are nice and stacked. And we're going to just rotate open that top foot towards the ceiling. Hips stay stacked. Feel that stretch. And then lower it down. And exhale, we rotate. And lower. I really like to hold that leg in that rotation for just a moment. Build those fibers up. And then return. And exhale, rotate. Return. Last two. And one more. And return. Your block comes out. Your top leg is going to lift up. Staying there, if you need your hand on your hip, you can do that. We're going to rotate your knee to the ceiling and bring it back to center. Make sure your hip stays solid. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Feel that stretch, feel the work. And you return. Rotate, rotate, rotate. And return. Last 4. Bottom waist is still lifted. Top waist is lengthened. And then going into your intro rotation from your foot's level of where your hip is, you're going to rotate inward and return. And rotate in and return. And in, return. Last 3. Long waists, 2. And 1. Turning this into circles, we're going to come back, open, forward, inward, back, open, forward, inward. So almost kind of like a figure 8. Really just working on stabilizing, challenging those hips to stay stable and supported while the leg rotates through the hip socket. Last 2. And 1 more. And return back to center. Your top leg goes on your roller, bottom arm goes in front, going into your stretch here. Taking your top arm up behind you, laying your shoulder onto the floor. And returning, taking a breath in. And exhale. And return. All right, we're going to go ahead and come up. Keep your legs bent. Bring your hand to the floor and stretch up and over. Big breath in. Exhale to reach. Let's come all the way up and let's grab your block. We're going to put the block at one side of your mat. We're going to lay onto your belly. The block is going to go underneath your left hand. Your arms are going to be bent, your legs are going to be about hip distance apart, and I want you guys to tuck your chin and look just straight down to the floor. Now, I'd like your shoulders to be hovered right here, about the level of where your block is. Your right hand is on the floor. Taking a breath to prepare here with your chin tucked, we're going to squeeze your glutes to lift your legs. Lift your shoulders now up past that block and lift your right arm up to meet. Lower everything down, breathe in. Same thing, we're going to squeeze your glutes, lift your legs, lift your shoulders, and lift your right arm. Shoulder blade to spine. Lower down, breathe in. Keep your shoulders hovering off the floor. Squeeze your glutes, lift your legs, lift your chest, and lift your right arm. Lower down, we have two more. Squeezing your glutes, lift your legs, chest, right arm. And lower. Last one, squeeze your glutes, lift your legs, your chest, your right arm. Staying here, breathe in. Exhale, extend right arm overhead. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, extend overhead. Stay tall, we have three more. Exhale, lift it through the chest, you reach overhead. Keep squeezing through your glutes, keep your legs long. And one more. Coming back down, breathe in. Switching your block over to the other side. Hovering your shoulders to about that level. Relaxing for a moment, breathe in. Exhale, squeeze your glutes to lift your legs, lift your chest. And at the end, let your left arm lift, squeezing shoulder to spine. Lower everything down, breathe in. Squeeze your glutes, lift your shoulder, your arm, your legs, your shoulders, and your left arm. And lower down, breathe in. Exhale, glutes squeeze, legs lift, chest lift, and arms lift. Lower down, breathe in. Two more here, squeezing your glutes, lift your legs and chest, lift your left arm, squeeze that shoulder to your spine, and lower, one more. Holding there, you're looking to the floor, breathe in, exhale, left arm overhead, inhale, bend it back, exhale, reach, and bend, and reach, and bend, two more, reach, last one, and bend. Let's bring those hands in a little closer, help yourself up, press back to a child's pose, and take a couple of deep breaths through the center. Walk your upper body to the right, stretch a little further through that left arm, shoulder, and waist. And coming over to the other side. A little further through that right side, shoulder and waist. Okay, we're going to come back to the center and grab your block. Your block is going to go between your heel and your hamstring or your sit bone. The attachment of your hamstring is really what I was going for. But right on your sit bone or below your bum and your heel, wherever it really can stay for you, your hands are going to go directly underneath your shoulders and we're in a neutral spine. Knees and feet are together. Shoulders away from ears, tuck your chin. We're going to breathe in to prepare. The side that has your block, you're going to engage your core and exhale, press your leg up towards the ceiling, keeping a hold of that block and then lowering it down on inhale. If you cramp on this, please just relax, straighten your leg and try this without the block. That might help you. So again, we're going to press up and inhale lower. Exhale, press up Inhale, lower. And exhale, reach long through your knees, strong through your core, and lower. Two more. Let's hold on the next one. Holding here, let's do little pulses for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. I want you to hold here at the top and rotate your knee open and bring it back in. Rotate your knee open and return. Exhale, rotate and return. Notice I'm not lowering my leg, so keep your leg lifted. We have 2 more. Do this without the block if it's cramping through your hamstring. 1 more. Return your knee back down, and let's take that block out. We're going to switch it between your other one. So heel and bum, knees and feet are together. Hands underneath your shoulders. Let's take a breath in. Strong core as you exhale, press your leg up, stay neutral. And lower back down. Exhale, press it up. And return down. If you think of kind of reaching your toes to the ceiling, that does help you hold on to the block rather than flexing through your foot. Last 3. And 2. Holding at the top. Keep your neutral, strong core. Let's pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold at the top and rotate your knee open. Bring it back in. Exhale, open. This is just like what we were doing on our side. So we're working on opening through the leg without moving through the pelvis. We did this laying on our back in our bridge when we dropped one hip down. So all the same idea is increasing the mobility of your hips. Last 2. 1 more. And release. We'll take the block out. And we'll sit back to a child's pose for just a moment. And then we'll come all the way up. And we're going to grab a hold of your roller, taking a seat on your roller, bringing your hands behind you, bringing your right foot on top of the roller, and leaning onto your right hip. Rolling up and down those muscles for just a moment here. All the way down from that bony sit bone that we sit on all day long, and all the way up to the top hip bone. Okay, coming back to the center, switching sides, rolling up and down. Two more times. And then we're going to come back into center. Sitting on a roller, we'll take your left leg straight, your spine is straight, your right leg is bent, and you're going to open that right leg slightly wide, and you're going to keep your toes of your left leg flexed towards you. Exhale, scoop your belly and reach. If you can grab a hold of those toes, great. If that's too much of a stretch, I totally understand. You can grab beneath your leg or on top of your shin, but really just try to keep your spine long, your chest lengthened up and over. And think about lengthening that sit bone behind you. So you're lengthening the whole back side of that left leg. Okay, we'll come back up to the center and we're going to switch. So tall spine, right leg is straight. You're going to flex through your foot, reaching for your chest, keeping your spine long, trying to grab a hold of those toes if you can. Okay, coming back up, we're going to bring your hips to the floor, bring the roller behind you against your spine, bring your hands behind your head. And we're going to roll your roller up and roll your roller again. And up and down a couple more times, bring some blood flow to those muscles in your back. One more time. And then place your hips on the floor, coming up to a sitting. Roller can kind of roll back a little bit, hands go behind your back. And we're going to take your right ankle in front of your left thigh. Walk your left foot a little closer to you. Walk your hands a little bit closer and lift your chest. Dropping your sit bone into the floor, lifting your chest to the ceiling, and thinking about pushing that knee away from your chest. And then let's go ahead and release, walking back and switching legs. Walking your right foot closer, walking your hands closer, lifting your chest, dropping your sit bone. You get to choose this stretch, how deep you are into it. One more thing before we lay on the roller, we're going to take your legs in front of you and then bend your right leg wide. So your knee is open wide, flex your foot, just like when we were on the roller, keep your spine long. This time, see if you can go just a little further down, up and over through that hamstring, flexing those toes to your chest. And coming back up, switching legs, we're going to straighten your other one, bend your other one wide, tall, long spine in the center, reach up and over to those toes if you can. And coming back up, we're going to take your roller and take it lengthwise so you can lay your whole spine on top. So a little bit of core at the very end here, but more importantly, stretching through your shoulders and spine. So just find a spot where your head is supported, your hips are supported, your arms are going to start nice and wide, and your feet are going to start together. So we started it very similar like this, but instead we have the roller under our hips. So I had a similar idea here, taking a breath in to prepare. Exhale, your left leg is going to lift to a tabletop with your right arm towards the ceiling. Now stay neutral. You can use the roller as a feedback here. And then we're going to lower both, bringing your hand to the floor, foot to the floor. And exhale, right leg lifts and left arm lifts. So just setting that muscle memory of your core back into your body before you end. Exhale, left side. The roller is also really good at your proprioception, so your balance of your inner ear. As you're here, you're balancing through space. You're using many little muscles here, but also you're fine-tuning those little fine hairs in your ears. They're working hard to keep you upright on the roller instead of rolling from side to side. So your core and your balance are working together. All right. And then from here, we're going to take both your arms up towards the ceiling. Knees and feet are still together, just so you have to work on that balance. And you're going to open wide on the inhale and close your arms, exhale. So using your balance to close your arms, I want you to feel that stretch as you open. Think of leading your thumbs to the floor, and exhale, core muscles help you close and help you stay balanced. Open wide, thumbs to floor, and close. Open wide, thumbs to floor, and close. We have one more. Open wide, relax that neck. Exhale to close. Now bring just your right arm back to the floor, breathe in, and exhale, lift your left leg and your right leg to a tabletop. Now I want your lower back to touch the roller, breathe in, and exhale, extend your right leg and left arm. And return. We're just going to do 6 and then stretch. Exhale, right leg out, left arm back. Anchor your lower back into the roller. If you feel your lower back is lifting, make your movement smaller. Last 2. And one more. And return. Lower your left arm. Lift your right arm, breathe in. Exhale, extend your left leg, anchor down into the roller, bring your right arm back. Feel your core strong and return. Exhale. And return 4 more. Really deepen into the roller. Use the roller as your feedback. 2 more. And 1 more. Returning, both feet to the floor. Now you can have your legs wide. Bring your arms up to the ceiling. Relax the back of your neck. Bring your arms up all the way back with your fingertips and circle. Let's go ahead and do 4 more big circles. Taking a breath in. Fingertips touch the floor and then use that stretch. Reach your fingertips deeper into the floor, further away from one another. And 2 more. Breathe in. And exhale. 1 more. We'll stay in the stretch. Breathe in. Reach those fingertips. Bend your elbows into your back pockets and find a good deep stretch for your shoulders. And let's breathe here. Melt up and over towards the floor. Hands are heavier than your elbows. Two more deep breaths. And slowly bring your arms down by your sides. Roll yourself to one side of the roller, and then you can turn yourself to the side to come on up. All right. I thank you for joining me. I wish you just a beautiful rest of your day, and I deeply apologize. It sounds like maybe I'll be getting a laptop from ARUP, and maybe that's going to be a whole new experience technically speaking. So anyways, I wish you all just a wonderful day. Thanks so much for joining me.